when we joined the Communist Party, there was a leader whom I met later on, I was glad to say, that was called the, he wasn't called the organizer, but whatever his title was at that time, organized some political economy classes. Mm-hmm. And we studied political economy in a way that I had not been given any of that kind of thing when I went to college. When I got out of college, I thought the people who took campaign material around to door, I thought they were a little off, you know, really off. I was at my girlfriend's, and we looked at each other and shook our heads. So you see, I came, and that was when I was 24, 25 years old, 26, 27. So, no, that was when I was still about 24. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, when I joined the Communist Party up in Vancouver, and my husband even was a secretary of our club one time, and we contemplated, but didn't do it, going to Alaska for him to work in Alaska, but it didn't work out. And then he got called up to go to the Army. And he went over and got signed up for what they called the Seabees. That was a construction battalion. But he didn't go because almost the next day, or very, very soon before he could be really inducted, Roosevelt issued the nobody over 29 and over, stayed home and to do essential work. So he and I were both working in the shipyards. He worked a graveyard shift, I worked a day shift. He would take the car to work. He would go on the bus to work. And I would take the kids to a daycare center in the morning and go and park the car and meet him and tell him where the car was. He would take the car home, go get the kids in the afternoon, late afternoon, and that was the way we handled our affairs. Once in a while, we were able to leave the children in the daycare center all night. Now, for the most part, I think the children had good experiences. I have one daughter that later told me she didn't have such good but I didn't have, I had no notion about it. So I don't know how she could have had such a bad experience, and I didn't know because
When you joined the Communist Party and was working in the shipyards, did you speak out about being communist, or did you know that you had to...
Okay. No. Being a communist at that time, it was even before the McCarthy period. It wasn't a thing you talked about. We were members of the Democratic Party. We were working hard to get Roosevelt reelected. We had flags that we put on our hard hats, and the company said you can't wear those flags, but we did it, and we never got fired.
Did people at the shipyards ever ask you if you were members of the Communist Party? Or?
No, we didn't. We didn't talk a lot of politics. Okay. We talked about the job. One time, the upstairs, they handed down the edict. You're spending too much time in the restrooms. So that didn't last too long because we all resented it. And so we'd laugh and joke and we'd say, we've got our pants undone now, can we go, Jimmy? And all kinds of things like that. The workers have a way of defending themselves, I can tell you.
Also, when you joined the party, was there opposition from your family members? Did you tell your parents?
Oh yes. My mother said, "Why do you want to be so subversive?" And I had a cousin that said, "Are you a member of the Communist Party?" And I said, "Yes." Well, she said, she didn't say there's no hope for you, but she said something similar to that. Oh yes, the family were not in favor. I had an uncle that when Hitler invaded the Soviet Union, said, and he was quite a political person too, said, well, in 6 months there won't be any Soviet Union. Well, it took him about, what, 40 years? Or, no, 50, 60, I don't remember, 70 some years, I think, there was a Soviet Union. And later on, I went there several times, three times. But the family, they weren't very, but they didn't ostracize me. They didn't ostracize me.
How about friends of yours?
Well, most of my friends were okay. I don't remember if some of the non-communists, I had good friends in the crew that I was working with,